name is Angelic, and welcome to my podcast, How to Make Your Comeback After a Setback. Now, this is a one woman show, so you're going to be seeing me moving around a lot, looking at the camera sometimes because I have to man everything by myself. But the purpose of this podcast is to show how sometimes you can experience negative things in your life, setbacks, and it's hard to dig yourself out of the hole that you're in and keep on pushing forward. And I'm sharing this not just from what I've learned professionally, but personally as well. I'm on my own journey of rebuilding my life and becoming successful once again. So, this is for anybody who is suffering, financially, emotionally, you know, um, you're having mental health issues, but you're still trying to function day to day, then this podcast is for you. Let me give you a little bit of background about myself. I have both a bachelor's and a master's in social work. I also have two certifications in teaching and one as a certified substitute teacher, as well as other professional certifications. And I'm currently studying to be an empowerment coach. So, again, I had to find a different path in life to keep on moving because what I originally chose to do didn't actually work out. So here I am in my 40s in school again, really, learning something new. And you know how they say it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. And I'm telling you, it's true. When you're set in your ways or you're used to doing, you get comfortable doing something, it's hard to try to learn something new. But in order to survive in today's society, you have to do that. You have to find different ways of maneuvering through difficult situations or surprises that come up in your life because they're going to come up. This journey of life, for some of us, it ain't no fun ride. Okay? Some of us have to endure a lot of struggle in order to survive. And we wonder why. And sometimes, you're dealt a bad hand in life. So, what do you do? Do you curl up in a corner and sulk and say, why me, why me? Or do you find a way to reinvent yourself or get that second or third job? You have to do what it takes to survive. And I've noticed in society, especially this year, that so many people have taken their lives because they just couldn't take it anymore. Whatever it was that they were fighting, whatever personal demons that was going on in their life, we don't know. Just because it looks good on the outside, you don't know what that person is dealing with internally. You know, most people, when they see me on the street, they probably wouldn't know that what my educational and professional background is and what I'm going through right now. No, because I make sure I'm well groomed when I leave my house, and I try not to show that I'm not happy right now, that I'm going through a struggle. But that is the truth. So that's why I've chosen to do this podcast is to share my personal journey and maybe stories of others, whether they be celebrities or people that I know personally, that we all go through hard times. What you see out here on social media, you can't compare your life to that of these people who are public personalities and celebrities because they 9 times out of 10 they're only going to show you the good stuff. They're not going to always show you what's going on behind closed doors, you know, like these reality shows. Some of this drama that you see is fake. I'm not going to even say some, I'm going to say most of it is fake so they can get ratings. You know, they might call for people to fight or act like there's infidelity going on in a relationship when that is not true, you know? So you need to focus on what's going on in your life and make the decision of how you're going to move forward. Because if you let fear define you, then you're going to be stuck. You're going to just be in the same spot, and next year it's going to be the same thing. Nothing's going to change. You have to wake up and come out of that darkness. That's what I had to do. You know, I used to wallow in self-pity and grief and like, why did this happen to me? And let me tell you the beginning of my journey. It started around 2012, 2013. I made the choice to leave a good paying state job, but that job was not healthy for me to be at. It took a toll on my mental health and my physical health. On top of that, I was in an abusive relationship. It was emotionally and psychologically abusive relationship. In addition to that, my brother was living with me, who has passed since 2016. He was terminally ill, and my cat was also terminally ill, and my cat passed away as well. So, and I had my own, like I said, issues going on. I had my own health issues going on, as well as emotional health. And to deal with a highly stressful job, I used to work for my state's Child Protective Services agency. And let me tell you, it was no walk in the park. It was a very stressful job. And as a matter of fact, about 2 weeks ago in the news, one of the workers from my agency committed suicide on site at the office in front of other employees. So that's got to tell you something. What in the world was going on that worker, not even a worker, this was a supervisor. We weren't even out in the field like a caseworker would have to be. What type of turmoil was going on in her life, his or her life, that they had to come to work and then call people in the office and commit suicide in front of a group of people? Now, I haven't heard any updates about the case. They're probably trying to sweep it underneath the rug. But that just goes to show you how difficult that job was that I was working at. And I just left. I took my pension and I left. And that's what I'm surviving off of right now. Yeah, I've had a few jobs in between since leaving there. But again, I was triggered when I went to another social work job, and I was triggered by what I experienced from the previous job. So I ended up leaving there. Then I worked as a substitute teacher and then tried to then become a regular teacher, and it just wasn't working out. So I had to say to myself, I need to find another way. You know, this is not my calling. And then I found empowerment coaching. And I'll go into depth about that later at a later podcast. But just you have to find something else. And it's been a process. You know, it's slow. Because me learning to be an empowerment coach, I'm also healing myself. The lessons in the different modules, if you're an empathic type of person, you're going to feel what you're hearing in these lessons. And some things I wasn't ready to face at the time. So it's taken me way longer to complete the course than I want to. But I'm still persevering on because I need something new. I need to generate income. And that's what it all boils down to, is being able to survive. And my pension ain't cutting it, you know. And the cost of living keeps going up, but my pension stays the same. That's not working. I have other issues that I need to take care of, you know, and I can't do it based on what I'm bringing home right now. So that's something that I'm wrestling with, you know, on almost a daily basis, because there's always something new. There's a pay increase, you know, rent increase, increase in cost of cable, internet, cell, you know, travel expenses, you know, all these things add up, you know, not to mention food, toiletries, and other necessities. So this podcast is for those who are going through a tough time and trying to figure out, how am I going to get out? Am I the only one going through this? You know, I feel pathetic. You know, I feel worthless. You know, no, don't. Because even in this amount of time, I've met other people uh, in person. Like, I've met a neighbor about 2 months ago. And me and her have been living in this building. She's been living here at least 2 years before I noticed her. And we've befriended each other, and to find out we have a lot in common on this journey of life. And I've recently connected with a public figure on Twitter. This person actually started following me, and I checked them out. I'm like, who is this? And to see that he went through a lot of the same things that I went through was, you know, very motivating. And I reached out to him to let him know what I was going through and to explain more to me about how did he get out of what I call the hole. You know, how did you go from being homeless to successful? Because this person is now, like I said, this is a public figure. They have a verified check mark next to their name on their Twitter account, and you could search them. Um, I'll give you the information on this person later once I talk to them some more. But that just inspired me to just, you know, continue on this journey. And that's why I wanted to do this podcast, to reach out to others, to let them know you do not suffer alone. Yes, it's hard, but it's going to take time. And he was the only person that I've seen, that I've read about, that was honest about the timeline from when he was at rock bottom to how long each step of the way that he till he reached success. Okay? Most people don't tell you that. Yeah, they'll tell you their little story where they had some hard times, but they don't tell you a little what went on in between and the timeline of when they finally had a bit of success. And that's important to know. You have to be realistic. You didn't fall into the hole overnight. You're not going to get out of it overnight, unless you just get lucky and win the lottery or meet somebody rich and they're going to take care of you. You know, it's going to be hard work, almost harder, because now you're dealing with stress and anxiety and, you know, sometimes lack of motivation. You get tired. You know, that stuff wears you out physically and mentally, and you can't focus. And I know that's the problem that I've experienced. So thank you for listening. And if you're watching the video, thank you for watching. I ask you to please follow me on my different social media accounts, follow this YouTube video, and follow the podcast. I'm going to list all the different platforms that I'm going to be using. And again, my name is Angelic, And this podcast is called How to Make Your Comeback After a Setback. And I wish you all the best of luck. Continue to watch me and see what other topics I will be discussing, not just about getting back on track from loss of financial gains, but relationships and emotional health. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.